Yo, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for checking back. For those of you who are new, my name is Dave with Everything in Between. Today we're going to be putting on some Coverlay branded door covers or door, I can't even remember what these are called. They're just inlays for the side door. This is going on a 2008 Ford Mustang, just the base model. So they come in a nice corrugated box. So hopefully it doesn't get damaged. And as always, I always get disturbed while recording. So this is the disturbance today.
You said you were done.
Well, I'm doing that.
Ryan, no.
Don't peek around the corner now.
Why?
You can come help me. You're gonna have to help me.
Yeah.
This is your car. Why you peek around the corner?
Guys!
Because why?
Guys, I'm camera shy.
Whatever. This is, what is this, the left panel? Left panel. Right panel. Comes with a big tube of silicone with an applicator. So we are going to go out to the car and prep the doors. We need to take off the old you know, I'm going to keep that in that they can see you picking around the corner. This is one of them that came off the door. It was already nasty and peeling off. Tried several different spray-on glues. Didn't work. Kept peeling off. So we're going to take off the driver's side door and get a wire brush and get it ready for the silicone and the plate or the overlay. I'm just going to use a couple wire brushes like this. Let's see how that works. Okay, so I may leave the footage in when we first started taking the door panel material or the overlay part of this, and so I'm gonna go a different route. I think because this vinyl material, come to look at it, come to think about it, we just ripped the cover off of the vinyl. So this is, I mean, the felt part, the back part that actually sticks to the door panel. So we just took off the flimsy part. You see what I'm saying? So we're gonna go take the door off, or not the door, but the panel, the door panel off of the door, and we're gonna bring it inside and we're going to lay it on a flat surface. I just think that's the best way to do it. So we got a bunch of bolts to take off and stuff like that, and then we're going to take it off the door and then remove the felt, I'm assuming it's felt backing of this part. Okay, that should come up. We're going to use a variety of tools to try and get it up, but I think that's why it wasn't fitting perfectly. It wasn't fitting correctly. So enough talking. We're going to go to the door and take off all the bolts to that door and bring it inside the shop here. All right, these are 7mm, and there's a bunch of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 of them. All right, and next is to take off this little piece right here. You just pop that out, pull it up, and there's a torque screw right there, and then there's going to be another one back here, or another bolt back there. This is a T30. Okay. And then we need to pull this out. Let's see which one we're going to use. Just there we go. Pull the end clip off first, this way, like that. It's a little bit easier. And there's another torque right there. This also is a T30. Okay, I think we got one more right here. Okay, there's this one. Ah, you take this off. There we go. Disconnect it. Okay. All right, this piece right here, there's one hidden. I believe it's 7mm. You just pull it out. It's held by 3 clips. Okay. 3 clips. 1, 2, 3. There's 2 guide pins that go into these holes right here. Don't forget to put your electrical plug through that hole. And secret bolt. Now this connector off. Disconnect. All right, once you get the door loose, you're going to take this off. And you're going to take this one down here off. This goes to the speaker, I believe, on the side right here. And this will connect behind the door down here. And then we will take this part off. This side, pop it out. Take it out the door. And now your door is free. We got the door panel off. We brought it into the shop, put it on the table. Huge mess. I'm still working on this huge mess. But at least we got a flat surface to work on. So I was thinking that the silicone that they gave you, the Coverlay insert, that it wasn't just sticking, it just was not drying. So I may still use that on this go around, but I've already used probably like half the tube on the first door panel on the driver's side. This is the passenger side. So just in case, I got me, well, I already had this, but they're still like 3/4 full. so I should be enough. I'm going to use this 90 industrial high strength adhesive, and I also have the trim adhesive, which is supposed to be a very strong bond, but I'll use this in case I run out of this. But I think some of the problems that people have when putting these overlay or coverlay panels on, so whenever you have the material on here and this is peeling away, it's actually peeling away from the, I guess it's like a felt backing or something like that. So whenever you pull this off, right, you're left with this piece here. Now this piece, I believe, whenever you peel this off, this is just the front portion of a vinyl upholstery, because this just doesn't stick to whatever by itself. It actually has a backing, and this is the backing. If you don't clear this off and you just sand this down and try to use adhesive and it doesn't work for you, and then you try to put this over the top, you know, it may not fit well. It may not fit on some of the edges. It may not fit down over here on this side, and that's because you're going over already a thickness of felt or whatever that backing is of the vinyl material. So what I believe we need to do is get like a pick tool or something to get underneath this covering and just get in here like this, and look at that. What do you know? You see that? Now this is straight plastic, and this is the backing from that vinyl material. This all needs to come off. So after you rip this off, you'll clean it off with some sandpaper or a sander, grinder type thing, and just try and get all the adhesive, because they're going to put adhesive around the edge all the way around, and probably all in this section right here. So this isn't what's failing. The vinyl material that's failing, coming apart from the fabric that's behind it, the felt or whatever this is. But the felt is actually adhered perfectly to this. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pull this and slowly try and get this out of here. So I'm going to cut out and I'll come back when all this is off. I just don't want to be y'all sitting here watching me take all this off. Our next step is to clean all this, especially around the edges and especially along this line right here. Now I don't know if you can see right here, there's a lot of felt in this groove. We need to get that out, because this right here is going to be a problem child on this edge right here. So I turned this around and I'm going to try this. Y'all may be already telling me, no, that's not going to work, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to go ahead and stop recording, and I don't want to waste time on you guys if I don't have to. But it seems like this door handle, there's two bolts right here, and it looks like it's just, I don't think these are like rivets, plastic rivets, but I'm going to try and take these two bolts off. They look like a 7 millimeter, and it looks like there's a clip on this side that'll help pull it out. So I'm going to try that and see if that will help. So that's going to be an all day job, sure. also use a pry piece, fold sandpaper on it. All right, I was able to get in there with a blade and on this inside part, because this is going to be the very difficult part. And I was able to pull up a little piece of fabric, and I'm just going to push along the edge here. And try and pull it out. Nice. We pulled that from the inside right here. So get your pry bars. I pulled in like this, started peeling it up, just working it, getting a blade. It's kind of slowly but surely. You may want to use goof off or something like that with adhesive and try and loosen it up. I didn't use any of that. So if you see this stuck in there in between, do everything you can to get it out. So everything else, I used a Dremel and I used sandpaper to clean all these edges up. It looks pretty good as it's gonna get. I mean, I can spend another 30 minutes on it if I wanted to, but it's good. It's nice and smooth. It's majority plastic. I'm just gonna get my vacuum it all out, and I'm gonna get some alcohol pads, clean up the area, make sure it's nice and clean. I'm gonna let that dry a little bit, and then we'll get started on the panel, the insert. All right, I put the silicone around the edge and through the middle, and I put the high strength adhesive. We'll just clean that up later. And push this down. This bottom piece is popping up, so we're gonna have to put some duct tape. Or some Gorilla Glue or something. Jack stands, torque wrenches, heavy tools.
What?
Nothing? Alright, get a grip. See, that's gonna be the trouble piece right there. That's gonna, because it's folded into that groove and it's all glued in there, so most likely not gonna take that out in one hit. Ooh, I may get it. I may get it. Ooh, I may get it. Ah. Almost. Alright. Now we're going to tape off, mask off, get with our Dremel. This is a lot cleaner than the other side though. And then figure out how to get this piece out. All this felt or whatever it is. Alright, so I'm cleaning up the driver's side. This is the silicone that it came with, these overlay or Coverlay panel inserts. But man, that stuff doesn't stick at all. So I'm scraping it off. I mean, this has been sitting here like this, trying to dry for a couple days, at least 48 hours. And I'm just taking my painter's tool, and it's just like coming up like easy. So I'm gonna take all this off. I've been doing all this here, all this around the other edge over here, but that's okay. I'm gonna prep it again. I'm gonna clear it all, clean it, scuff it up, put some alcohol wipe on it, let it dry up. But as you can see, I have the passenger door over there. That has a lot of stuff on it, and yeah, so you know, I don't know how that's gonna work. Trying to get some C clamps in here and pinch them down in some of the corners, maybe on this side, definitely on the bottom side. That is the trouble side here. I don't know. I don't think it's worth the money that they charge for these panels. It's just molded plastic, man. Like 99 bucks is the most they should be charging for this stuff. It's ridiculous. If it was just a real, like just a plug and play type thing that snapped in, that'd be awesome. But man, you have to put all those weights and everything on it and let it sit there for 6 to 8 hours with that silicone. On that door panel over there, I used the silicone that they gave me, plus I used some industrial strength spray, and I don't know, it still pops up from the corners here no matter how much pressure is laid on there. So we'll see. I have another hour to go on that panel, and we'll see how well it sticks. Yeah, it's a headache. It's a real headache, especially getting this felt off. This isn't the problem of the product, but just preparing this door for this product is a pain in the butt. Yeah, so we'll get back to you when we work on it again. Alright, so we have the insert. We have it all sanded, you know, back down to its natural. This is the one that had the adhesive that they included, but we got it all off. Still was just sticky. It's just not even a good adhesive. Just, I don't know. It just doesn't work over here in Texas, I guess. So I'm gonna use some like molding double-sided tape, and it's supposed to be super strength. It's for side moldings and stuff like that, for, you know, real sticky stuff. I know I probably mentioned it before. The passenger door was a combination of the adhesive they gave us, plus the 3M, I think it's the 90 strength industrial high strength spray adhesive. But I don't have time to sit there and let it sit there for 6 hours or something like that for all that to dry. So I'm gonna put this on. Hopefully this works a lot better. I will put stuff on top probably for like 30 minutes, maybe an hour for good measure. But this should hold a lot better and bond a lot quicker than the adhesives. So I'm gonna do this off camera. I'm gonna measure, slice in half if I have to, and then I'll show you what it looks like after. Alright, so this is how it looks. Just like that. They didn't have the 1/2 inch tape, they just had 7/8 inch. So these little strips here are just because I had to cut the thin part here. I had to cut like 3/4 of it off, and so the rest of the 1/4 of this white tape is just these little pieces right here. So that doesn't matter. It's still still adhesive, still tape there. I may put one right here. I'm not sure. I may sand it a little bit, get some grip, and put it right here, but I think it'll be fine. Alright, so we'll come back when all this tape is peeled off, and we're going to put the door panel over here and stick it on. Alright, so that you have some stability and so it's not rocking, and just put it on the back side. And now you got a solid surface to push down. So here's the panel with all the tape on it. We're going to now put some weight on it, see how it works. Okay, so we got it all weighted down a little bit. These are some of my dad's old tools. He was a machinist when he was around. So these are a lot of machinist tools, and you know those things are heavy. So, I mean, this is at least, I'm not even gonna try and pick it up. So you're just gonna have to find a way to put weight on this stuff. If you have C-clamps that fit around the edge, use them. If not, go to Harbor Freight or somewhere and buy some cheap C-clamps. I don't have any clamps. Actually, I do think I have a C-clamp or a couple of them, but I mean, it's not really worth it right now. And we're gonna see how it works out. We'll see how long these doors last, both with this and the other door. All right, so we're gonna leave this on for about maybe 30 minutes, no more than an hour. Shouldn't need that much time for the tape to adhere to the plastic, but you know, we'll see. So we'll be back when we take all this stuff off, and we put it back under the car. All right, so while I let this last part here, this is a real heavy box, just sitting there for the last, next 5 minutes. I do want to go over this before I put this back onto the car. So don't remove this part that's in the back side, and I'll probably show you. I showed you before what I was going to take out, but it doesn't help unless you melt off those tabs in the back and pull this off, but you really don't need to. I'm going to put this back on in a second, but I just kind of wanted to talk about these inserts versus having somebody, having somebody else upholster it, with new vinyl material or something like that. I could get these redone at an upholstery shop for about $250. These inserts for the pair, because you still have to pay for shipping, at least where I got them from. I can't remember the name. If I do, I don't even know if I want to put them in the link, but I may not. But I think the manufacturer, getting them from the actual website, they cost a little bit cheaper, or they cost a little bit more, but it's free shipping. And any other seller might be about $10 or $15 cheaper, but then they charge you for shipping. So it ends up coming about $180. Would I get these again? Probably not. I'd rather have my car in the upholstery shop for about 2 days, 2-3 days. If you don't have an upholstery shop by you, you're out there and there's nowhere around you, then you probably have no choice but to get these. But if you have an upholstery shop, I would go that route to save me the hours and hours of pulling this off, pulling the felt off or the backing, and cleaning it up. You have to tape it off so you don't scratch any of the door panel. It's just a lot of prep. The adhesive is like an RTV silicone, clear silicone. To me, it just didn't work. Even taking it off, it was sitting there for well over 24, 36 hours, and I was able to get a blade, and it's just like still gummy. And yeah, so the price for these, man, if it costs them to manufacture a pair of these for $40, $20 each, 40, they're bumping up the price to, over 4 times, $160. Actually, with shipping and everything, 180, almost getting close to 190 is like 180 something. No, if these panels were about $100, maybe 120, it may be worth the hassle rather than going and paying $250 to have somebody do it. But being that close, I think they just look at the market and say, well, an upholstery shop will charge them $250. Let's just charge about $50 to $60 less, and people will buy it. But I have yet to see. I've only seen a handful of videos of people doing these overlays, these inserts, and from the ones that I've seen, it's like they really don't gripe about it. Like, I don't know. It's like they're okay with it, or maybe they don't want it to seem like it's that hard, and they cut out a lot of parts out in the video, and they just don't tell you about it maybe. But these are a pain in the butt, and it's not just this, but it's the prepping of it. Getting the vinyl off, getting the felt off to go down to back to bare plastic. Just the prep work alone is just a lot of work. Then having to use the silicone they gave you. I'm going to leave that footage in the very beginning. I should be able to leave it. but we try to do it on the door. Don't do it on the door, put it on here. But even then, the passenger side, that is a mixture of the silicone that they provided and the 3M 90 strength spray adhesive that I sprayed all over it. And you saw all the things that I had on the other one. I just did it for this, and I left it on there maybe 30-45 minutes, and there's nowhere where it's lifting up. It's very tight all the way around. I just put this was over here, I just put it over here so it can stick on this bottom trim piece. Like I told you earlier, this part right here is going to be the trouble area, so make sure it sticks all along this this crease area right here. That's why I have this heavy old tools box laying on it. But I kind of wanted to give a suggestion. I doubt Overlay or Coverlay or whatever the brand this is, I can't even remember. I think it's Coverlay. Let me give you a suggestion. Maybe put some molded in plastic on the back of these inserts, you know, somewhere like around these thin parts. Put like a molded like a like a stud, or oh, my mind's going blank, but you know, just like a little stud out, and have it go out on the bottom side poking down, and then have, you know, just randomly. And then let me show you the bottom side. I mean, that should be already done. At the end of that, have it like this type of these little teeth right here, where you punch it in and it clips in. It's like a clip. And then all you have to do is create a paper template that after we're done prepping, we can lay the template on here, tape it down, right? And it has a little diagram of where to drill a hole. Let us drill a hole, even include the freaking bit, right? So we don't have to go buy one if we don't have it. Maybe like a 3/8 inch round stud molded on the back side of these things. We can drill through with a drill, and then remove the template, and then the insert has the little stud, the little standoffs, and we just line them up with the holes, punch it in. Now you can also include the silicone, but at least the little barbed standoffs that are going to be on the back side molded into the trim or the insert, at least when you push it, it'll snap through the hole. And I showed you how the little barbs will grab in. And even if we just do silicone just for you know, good measure, at least we don't have to put a whole bunch of junk, you know, on top to keep the glue down or to keep the insert down, so that it will dry like that. It was very hard with that silicone and having to make sure everything is staying down. That is my suggestion. Hopefully somebody will share this and just share this part of the video with them to upgrade these inlays. And we don't need to hold down with tape. You know, tape doesn't work. You guys may use a brand new fresh door. I don't know what you guys are using, but us, I mean, no matter how much it's a 2008, at least this one is, there's a bunch of oils and stuff like that, and it's just hard to get painter's tape, masking tape, Gorilla tape. It's kind of hard to put tape and like go across. It's still gonna lift up, you know. So, you know, it's gonna be hidden. So if those standoffs break or whatever, it's still gonna be held by the adhesive. So, yeah. So using the tape on this side, I do gotta say, it does not pop out like the adhesive. Even after like 6 hours, or no, not 6 hours, but even after like an hour or two, I still had to come by and pop in. Oops. I still had to come by and like pop in, you know, because you would push down here and it would come out over here. You push over here and it pop out over here. So But this tape that I used, the trim molding 3M tape, very high bond adhesive, it has done a whole lot better, and it saved me a whole lot of hours because I just had heavy stuff on there for less than an hour, and it's great. It's not even coming up right here. I'm not trying to pick up, and it's just bonded. So yeah, I'm not even gonna try and pick it up, but it's good. I mean, there's nothing. You don't even hear anything where it's like, you know how tape, when you push down and it comes up, you hear that little sticking sound? Nothing anywhere. Nothing. You'll hear it too. It's all stuck down. So I think this one's gonna last a lot better, a lot longer than the other door. Hopefully that door lasts as long. I know my daughter wants to buy a new car, so hopefully it lasts until we sell it or something and get her a new Mustang. But yeah, so those are my thoughts. I'm just trying to put as much information as out there as I can. I know it's going to be a very long video as always, but just know going in with these inlays, to me, I wouldn't do it again. If I did, I would still invest in the tape, because that's a whole lot easier than the spray adhesives and the RTV silicone adhesive. I'd rather put weight on all this stuff for less than an hour, and that tape is going to hold, rather than having to put it down there for 6 to 8 hours for that stuff to dry, the other type of adhesive. Hopefully that suggestion can get out to the manufacturer. Maybe they can just start testing it, put in standoffs, use a template, and see how it works. You know, I think that'd be a great addition to a new version of this. But that price got to come down. Now I understand that you have like 50 other colors that you have in stock, you know, but that's not our fault that you have to have, you know, so many tens of thousands, I'm gonna say hundreds, but tens of thousands of these inserts in your inventory or overstock or overhead, and so you're charging in case any of those don't sell or whatever. But I know how all that works. But man, this price needs to come down to like $100, maybe 120. Because next time I will probably, if I have to run into this issue again, which I don't think I will, I would go and pay somebody $250 to have them upholster it with new vinyl material. They don't look bad, but just the hassle of doing this. And then I still have to buy the tape, which is an extra $20-25 to put on both doors. It's just, you know, just not worth it to me. But anyway, let's go put this on the door, and we'll just take some video of them, how they look on the door, and see how it goes. So we'll see you outside. All right, this is the passenger side. For the most part, it's on there. You got some spots like down here where it still pops out. It's just not going to hold. Everything else holds pretty good. The top here, the edge kind of doesn't hold, but all this is kind of let's see, I don't know if you can see it pushing in. It's being held on most of the parts, which is holding the parts that aren't actually didn't adhere well, but it held mostly on the center here. It doesn't go in anywhere, so all this is pretty good, but it's mainly the trouble corners there along the edge, kind of being held in the middle pretty good, but as you get to the edge, let's see, See, I can still pop it in and it just comes out. But we're gonna deal with it until we sell it and get a new one. And let me go show the other side. Alright, on this side, this is the side that I did the double-sided tape, the 3M high bond adhesive tape. That corner's actually held on a little bit better. On this side, it's not really popping out. Everywhere else is holding pretty tight. There is on this side here, it is coming off a little bit, but I'm not going to mess with it. There's nothing you can really see. So yeah, but everywhere else it's sticking pretty good. So that's the driver's side door.